Good morning, guys. And today our topic is capacitance, then inductance, and you can see this is this picture. I think you all can observe this picture. It is now. Yesterday I have completed just what is the resistance. Okay. Uh, if you have any question, you may ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to start. Look, you can see this is a resistance. This portion is totally the group of resistance is there. Okay, look, there this is the solid state resistance, which color coding are discussed yesterday, and now this is not solid state resistance. Rather, it is a wear wound resistance. It is used in the generally power system or where high power capacity are introduced. Now, this is the you can see this is the 40 watt resistance. Means it can withstand with the 40 watt. Okay, and this is 1
Which one, sir?
this green one, just right side. Okay, it is wound over a ceramic cylinder, and it is look some wire are visible, and then again a ceramic cementing is done over there so that it can withstand its high heat. Okay, look, this is also a solid state generally used in electronic circuit, but this gray color, okay, but it is withstand with more than 1 kilowatt, 1 kilowatt, or sorry, 1 watt. This is the 2 watt resistance, okay, and this small type of resistance and the range of this resistance all are actually 1 ohm, 1 to 100 ohm, okay, and this may be 333 ohm, and it will be more less than 400 ohm. Okay, but due to the capacity of high temperature, it is the formation is differ. The formation is differing from each other. Okay, and this is below 1 watt or 1 watt resistance. This is above 1 watt to 2 watt resistance. Okay, that's why this is more thick, and this is 40 watt resistance. This is also a resistance. So resistance are differing according its application. I think in the previous class you have seen so many resistance, and I think lots of discussion was on this resistance. And now you should physically know what is the resistance, because we know theory everything. But whenever we're going to introduce to our practical session, then our performance became so dull. But if we know every resistance, everything, then the circuit theory and other things become so interesting. And then we can study properly. Okay, I think whenever you go for any circuit, or you can see not only in your lab, in your surrounding area, you can see so many circuit is there, electronics, electrical circuit are there. Then whenever you can recognize this type of resistance, this type of components are there, then already you can get interest in this paper or in this subject. Otherwise, we are just going through the theory, and after completion of your semester, you all forget all about this. But just try to relate with your environment, with your study. Then you can remember throughout your life, and then you can apply. Okay. And look, this is the high kilowatt, high wattage resistance. This is something below wattage. This is 2 watt capacity. This is 1 watt capacity. Okay, so resistance are there. Resistance part is over yesterday. Now this is the pot type, or it is called properly. It is called preset type resistance. Preset means actually this is pot type, not exactly pot. Pot means potentiometer. Okay, potentiometer means whatever you are remove knob type. in your gold round type, which is used in your or in your music system, volume increment decrement. This is actually used pot, and this pot is just a knob type. I think all are introduced with this knob type resistance. But this small version is called preset type. Preset means you have to set it. Previously, say I need 100 ohm, say I need 90 ohm. So I used 90 ohm, then I am just soldering over this circuit. Okay, this is preset type, but it actually is just like a pot. And this is also a resistance. This is also resistance. It is like a capacitance. But if you see properly the specification, then the kilowatt range is given over there. Okay, this slim type.
Sir,
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me.
sir, your arrow is not visible, sir.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes. Which one was?
Arrow, sir, arrow is not visible.
Arrow is not visible. Arrow is not visible. Look, this arrow is visible.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Now it's
Okay.
visible.
This is look from beginning. This is the high wattage resistance. It is look here 40 watt is written. So this is wire wound resistance. Yesterday you have seen the types of resistance, which was related to your syllabus, and now I think now you can get my sound now. And now it is uh, it is 2 watt. 2 watt means it is withstand with only 2 watt. If you put some more wattage, then it will just damage. This is 1 watt, and this is pot type resistance. But actually, this is particularly not pot. Pot is just like a knob type. The knob, I think you all are aware with your music system where some volume increment decrement is done by your knob. Okay, not digital, I am saying. Then this volume knob is actually a pot. This is called potentiometer, and this potentiometer type resistance is there also. The working principle of this resistance is same as the potentiometer, but it is properly called. Actually, if you go to the shop and ask this type of resistance, you have to say the name, proper name. Then it is called, you have to say, this is preset type resistance. Why this is called preset type? Actually, it is not use variable resistance for all time. It is used only one time. Means you need 100 ohm. Okay, you put it to the 100 ohm. If you need 97 ohm particularly, but in this practice, this is at the fixed resistance. So you need something resistance which is not available in practice. Then you use this, you put this 97, just like absurd type of a resistance. Then you just preset it, means set it up to a 97, then use it. Then you soldering this. Okay, after soldering, we are not generally use this for variation. Okay, and this is also resistance. This is also special type of resistance. Okay, so this all about your resistance. Okay, various type of resistance also there, but which resistance are available to me, I just show you. I think you can understand what are the resistance. Okay, now today our topic is actually two plus two topic is, first one is inductance and the capacitance. I am spending much time for these components because throughout this your electrical engineering life, you have to use, or you have to particularly use these components. So just try to understand, try to introduce. So today our topic is inductance. Look, this is also an inductance, this is also an inductance, and these are the capacitance. I will talk about capacitance later. First, today's our topic is inductance. So these are the inductance. Okay. Look, in case of inductance, two legs are equal. Okay, and in case of resistance, two legs are equal. But in case of capacitance, you can see the two legs are not equal. Okay, these two legs are not equal. Negative legs are the upper, and uh, negative legs are lower, and positive are upper. And here also, here no legs are there. It is, this is called silver mica capacitor, and this is so many capacitor there. Whenever I talk about a capacitor, then I will go for the details. And this is the inductance. So now our study is inductance. We are going for the another slide. uh, our topic is inductance. It is looks like this. So which one is inductance? Look, if I apply some, first going for the very basics, if I apply some current through a, just remember the previous, this is a conductor, this is a conductor. If apply some current through this conductor, then what happens? This is the current, I is flowing, I is flowing. Now, surrounding this conductor, there is the magnetic field is created. A magnetic field is created. A magnetic field is created. Okay, a magnetic field is created. Surrounding this wire, this is a magnetic field. You can ask, why sir this is a magnetic field, or what is the proof of this? Just remember the in your previous class or in your HS class, means 12 class, if I put some magnetic needles over here, it may be DC or AC, whatever may be, but certainly you can see whenever current is flowing through this is through this wire, this magnetic needle will deflect. Magnetic needle will deflect. Why a magnetic field will be deflected when it is just come to the close with this is conductor? Because a magnetic field can deflect it whenever it interacts with the other magnetic field, and no other field will deflect it. So it must be a magnetic field. Yes, this is a magnetic field. So from the Ampere swimming rules, you can remember these things. I think in your 12 class or 10 class you have studied this phenomenon. I just recall it. Now, if a conductor has a property of magnetic field, whenever a current is flowing through it, whenever maybe it may be DC or AC. If AC, this is changing its nature. If DC, this fixed. So it has some magnetic field. If I make it a coil, if I make it a coil, magnetic field, if I make it a coil, so what happens? What happens? So if it is a coil, just let me draw it. Just let me draw it. Okay, so this is a coil. This is a coil. So whenever a current is flowing through it, whenever a uh, current is flowing through it, I, this is I. So what happens? For this case, a magnetic field is created throughout surrounding area. So each and every section there is a magnetic field is created. Each and every section. Say I am taking a fixed X line, and then a magnetic field is created, and it must have some direction. If say it is DC, then direction is fixed. If it is the AC, then direction will changing. Okay, so for a particular cross section, say del D, there is surrounding area, there is a magnetic field, there is a magnetic field, there is a magnetic field, there is a magnetic field. Throughout this area, there is a magnetic field, but I am considering only a particular area. So if there is a direction, so if I add it, so it is vector sum. So it is a line of force is created it for a particular very small section area. So there is so many areas there. So there is a line of force, magnetic field is created. This is called a flux line. So a magnetic field is created through the coil inner position. So if we coiled a current carrying conductor, then within this coil a magnetic field is created. This is called flux line. Okay, so the flux density will be measured. So you can see whenever I put some current, then it is producing a magnetic field. Okay, so it is also a energy. If I just switch it off, then magnetic field will remove. So how many energy I applied, some of them will be some of them will be used for the current. Say I put I amount of current, but it is passing through the coil, it is I1 amount of current, and some of this current is used for the magnetic field. So this is one type of mm, losses, or I can say this is not required. Which one is losses? Which is not required to me, this is considered as loss. Actually this is loss, but somewhere it is applicable, so there is not considered as loss. So you can see this is called this property is called inductance, means it will induce some magnetic field. That's why it is called inductance. If you put within this coil a iron bar or ferromagnetic material through this, then this this ferromagnetic material, if material became a magnet, it has some direction, north pole, south pole, as per the coiling direction. So some of the current will use to produce some magnetic field. So this property is called the inductance. And the material means fixed round material is called inductor. Okay, means the property is called inductance, and the material means this coil is called, this is a fixed length and fixed number of turns. Okay, means maybe 100 turns, and the length is one uh, say 10 millimeter. So this is called a inductor. It is denoted by L. So R is resistance is denoted by R. Inductor is denoted by L, and the symbol is just like a coil. Okay, so this is the inductor. I think you can understand the very basics and science behind the inductor. So somewhere it is denoted as losses, but actually it stores some energy. Okay, because this is a magnetic field, it is also defined as the energy. Now what happens whenever the conditions for storing, it is stored over here. Okay, until and unless you use this is through a ferromagnetic, it is stored over here. Now when the condition is there, change of current inductance. To produce inductance, you have to use change of current, means from switching zero, whenever switch is off it is zero, whenever your current is switch on, then it is 0 to no its highest level. Okay, say it is passing in 1 ampere. Okay, so from 0 to 1 ampere, this is the changing. Then it is storing this magnetic flux. store this energy. This is inductance. Okay, and after some time, if you switch it off, it is become a steady state, or if you pass this line something through this through a circuit, then it's discharge it also. Okay, it discharge it because there is a change of current, say from 1 ampere to it is going to 0.5 ampere. At that moment it is just restoring discharge this energy by in form of again electricity current. Okay, this is some, it is given some energy. Okay, again if you put some changing the 0.5 to 1 ampere, then again it is going to charged, and this is phenomenon is going throughout this change of current, and this is didt. Okay, and this is energy is storing and storing means charging, and when it is restoring means applying, then this is called discharging. So inductance is a device which can store energy and very few amount of energy, and for a very few seconds or very few time. So that's why this is called storage of energy. But abruptly we should know it is storing its energy in form of current, because only if you change the value of current, then only it can store, or it can distort, or means discharging. Okay, but in case of capacitor it is storing and restoring by in form of voltage. Okay, so didt, I think guys you can understand what is the inductance. If you have any question, then you may ask me, otherwise now I'm going for the definition. You can write it down, uh, its properties. If you have any question you may ask me. Okay, look, this is an inductor. So it is a coil. So we can say an inductor is a coil of a conductor with a certain length. It must have certain length. It is not a prolonged length or undefined length. Okay, so this is an inductor. If it is made to pass through an inductor, if any components it's made to pass through a inductor, and electromagnetic field is formed. Okay, so this is the property, and a change in magnitude of the current and changes the electromagnetic field. So you can say this is I is look here, I have to remove this all things. You have to say that I is proportional to, just remember, inductor is dealing with change of current and capacitor is dealing with change of voltage. I is proportional to the field. Okay, so a change in current produce a change in the electromagnetic field, which induced a voltage across the coil according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, and induction, the now you know the symbol of inductor is L. Now what are the unit of this inductance? Unit of this inductance is Henry. Henry, Henry. Okay, and now if you go for the definition, you have to just write it down. What is the definition? The inductance is 1 Henry. I am giving the definition of inductance. Okay, inductance means its property. The inductance is 1 Henry when current through a coil is changing at the rate of 1 ampere per second and induced 1 volt across this coil. So if a current, it is 1 ampere flowing through this coil, and it will change 1 volt, it will change 1 volt, then the inductance of this coil is called 1 Henry. Okay, so Henry is a large amount. Okay, the current and voltage relation is given by V equal to L di dt. Okay, this is the relation between the current and the voltage. And we may say, so we can say that di equal to 1 by L, if I put over here and give that V dt. Okay, I just put it over here. And now integrating both side, if I go for integration in the both side, to 0 to t initial time over 0 to t initial time, then I t minus I0, because I am putting over here 1 by L. It's okay. This is the formation. And now P equal to, we know V into I. We know P equal to V into I, and work done equal to L I square by 2. So what will be the power? We know power equal to V into I. So here I get IT equal to this form. Okay. So power PU power equal to L I di dt. That is what L di dt. This is di dt. You know this is di dt. So the energy by the inductor which was stored in the energy, you have to find it. That is W equal to 0 to t p dt. This is p, this is p. So we have to put it the value, then we get 0 t L. P value is L di dt. L di dt equal to L I square by 2. This is the energy stored in a inductor. Okay. So if a numerical is come to you that say inductance has 2 Henry, okay, and 2 Henry, and current is 2 ampere, or what will be the storage energy, then you can easily find out. This is 2, this is uh, 2 square by 2 means this is 2, this is 4. Okay, 4 watt will be 4 watt will be stored for this. So in this way we can find out the storage energy in the inductance, and storage factor is called quality factor. It will be studied in your measurement classes. Okay guys, have you any questions regarding this? Okay. Okay. Now some special things about this inductance. Look, the induced voltage across an inductor is zero if the current through it is constant. And previous time I told you that if there is a steady state current, then the induced voltage will be zero, because I equal to, look, uh, del di dt, sorry, volt. Okay, just 1 minute. Voltage, you have just seen voltage will be L di dt. Okay, so if there is a di dt means what is the DIDT means? Means it should be changed as per the time, according to the time. So if there is a steady state, say you are applying the 1 ampere current through your circuit, okay, but whenever it was switched it off, then it was zero. But when at that moment, within a few seconds, you just turn it on, means it is going to the 1 ampere, but at first time it is not reached 1 ampere. It will gradually reach 1 ampere, but it is very few seconds, within few seconds. Then it will store some energy, and after a fraction of second, whenever it reached 1 ampere, then the across voltage will be just zero, means it is working as a short circuited. Okay, so whenever it is switching on or switching it on, or however you are putting some circuit where the current is changing, means 0 to 1 it is taking say 2 seconds. Okay, or it may be some change of current 1 ampere to 0.5 ampere, it is going downwards. Then it will some charging or discharging its its storage energy. Okay, so then only your voltage will be zero, when it will be a steady state. So not only when switch it off, somehow it is asked after 1 second the steady state current became 1 ampere. So what will be the inductance? Then easily you can say this is whenever steady state it was stated, then the inductance became induced voltage became zero, because V equal to del V equal to L di dt, or change of current. Means always remember the two words. Inductance is dealing with change of current di dt, and capacitance is dealing with dv dt. It is a no, it is not a no, actually it is a practical words, not your theoretical words. Okay, so di dt means change of current, then inductance is working. Dv dt, then your capacitance is working. So remember this very basic things. Okay, otherwise whenever going for your numericals, going for any RL circuit, then it will be something, it is problematic. Okay, so V equal to 0, it is somewhere asked when the current became steady state, what will be the induced voltage? Yes, induced voltage is 0 when it is going to the steady state. Steady state means the current is not changing as per the changing of the time. So it became 0. So total voltage became 0. Okay, this is the property. And now if a small change is current within zero times through the inductor gives an infinite voltage, because within tends to 0. I want to say some experimental view. Say in your uh, blast choke tube light, means your fluorescent tube light, whenever whenever in previous uh, few years there was used a blast type choke, means a copper coil choke was used for this. Why this choke used? And nowadays there is a fluorescent tube experiment and in your basic labs. Why this was given? Because here you can study this DIDT, means current or the voltage is changing, and this current is changing by using of a starter. Okay, starter is a made of bimetallic starter, and it is very tends to 0. Time is t equal to tends to 0. With within a fraction of second it is going to circuit is going to, here is a bimetallic strip is there, so circuit is going to closed, and whenever it is just tends to close, this bimetallic strip became heated, and it is just break this circuit. In this way the starter in previous few years, your tube light, means your fluorescent tube light, was going to started and taking few seconds, and this is due to your choke and this your starter. Because whenever it takes some time, it tends to 0, very small time. Then whenever tends to 0, look, di dt in your denominator, t is tends to 0. Whenever your denominator portion is tends to 0, then your numerator portion is going to infinity. So going to infinity means your voltage tends to infinity. Infinity means that is not means that the thousands of voltage. Actually, infinite means or undefined means maybe this is 1, maybe this is 10, maybe this is 100, maybe this is 1000, whatever may be, I don't know. But it is as per your circuit breaker. It may be 10, it may be 1000, it may be 10,000, whatever may be, but as per your circuit breaker. If it is we stand with 10, then it is over this 10, then your circuit will be breaked. So it is infinite means something at high voltage. Okay, this voltage is generally 600 voltage to the 700 voltage, and this is for a very few seconds because t tends to 0. And whenever we apply this 600 voltage to the 700 voltage for a fluorescent tube, then what happens? There is a cathode and anode positions is there. Then then a electron beam is emerging through this fluorescent tube from cathode to anode. Okay, and due to this low pressure but high voltage, high potential difference, that is the science behind this fluorescent tube. And why this is included to your basic lab, because you have to understand this inductance. This copper coil choke is nothing but a very coil, and this is a inductance. Okay, and this inductance is working on the property of L di dt, where dt is tends to 0. How this dt is tends to 0? Because your starter bimetallic strip type starter is working this portion. Whenever your fluorescent tube is once uh, blow on, then this starter connection will be cut off. Okay, and total circuit current is passing through this line, through this circuit choke, anode to cathode anode, and then your through this choke. Okay, starter connection will be just out of. So this is the properties of inductance and basics of inductance. In your GATE questions, so many questions was asked regarding this basic concept. Only for this basic concept, you can see there is some graph is there, which graph is given something. You have to clear this statement according this graph, where it is applied, where discharging, how discharging, what the conditions. Okay, so this is some special property for this inductance. And in a fixed inductance of the current, fixed inductor, the current cannot change abruptly. Why inductance is used for your? Because it is it stores some energy, and whenever it is required, it discharge it. So it is used somewhere. Inductor is used so to maintain some particular amount of smooth current. Okay, so in your filter, whenever you go for filter, then you can see the Colpit filter, T-type filter. Then filters, in filters we are using inductance and capacitance so that our circuit becomes smooth. Okay, another property, the inductor can store finite amount of current or finite amount of energy, sorry, finite amount of energy in form of changing of current per time, even if the voltage across the inductor is 0. Okay, and now a pure inductor never dissipated energy, only it stored it. Okay, and that is why it is also called a non-dissipated element. However, the physical inductor dissipate power due to the internal resistance. Look, this type of questions is asked in your PSU or